Hey everyone, so in this video we are going to cover the remaining of categorical plots. So here we have done the categorical plots in form of points, and now in form of figures we have three different ones. That is, first is this one, violin plot, and second is this one, cat plot, and we have the box plot also. Here it is, the box plot, and one is the bar plot, that is this one. So these are the four plots that we are going to cover here, and then we are nearly done with most of the plots present here, and just few are left that will be covered in the matrix plot, like these one. So not that one, this one. So here I have the data tips and I have loaded that one. Now we begin with the bar plot, that is sns dot bar plot. Then we will provide first the x, that will be like the, here we have which one to take. Let me take day because they are 4 in number. Then we have y is equal to, let me have this time this one tip. Then we have the data, which is equal to tips, and shift return, you will get that one. These are nearly similar to the count plot, but in count plot we can use just only one column. Here we can use 2, and rest the things are nearly same. So this is the first type of categorical plots. After that we have another one, and this one is the one you have seen most, box plot. This one is something that maybe you have not seen most, but it's also a part of categorical plots. So these are the small boxes representing the particular value for that one. Like on Sunday we have the maximum, so it's covering maximum. Their width is same, and also you can use the HUE parameter in both of the categorical plots that we have done, that is bar plot, and in this box plot also, that is just HUE. And like by gender we have male and females, that is male blue and orange female. And you can also do the same thing with the bar plots also. And if you want to have more than one plots in a single plot, then just add the statement for that one in the same line. That's something not always work, but work most of the time. So now we are done with the box plot and bar plot, and we have also shown the HUE parameter in the box plot. After that we have a third one, that is known as violin plot. This one, these are referred as violin plot because the figure, what happened there, module Seaborn has no attribute violin plot. Sorry, this one is I, violin. And these are referred to as violin plots because their shape is like the violin. If you notice this green one, this one is nearly a violin, and this red one is also like a violin. So these are the violin plots, and that's why they are known as violin plots. And you can also categorize them by using the HUE character, like HUE and the gender. You will get this one, the orange are denoting female and blue are denoting the male. So these are the violin plots, and just enough about the figure plots because they are nothing much more important about that one. And I hope you got the idea that how to plot them. And we are now just required to study the metric plots. After that you will be completely familiar to all these plots, and you can easily plot any plot you want to. So thanks for watching. Continue with the matrix plot in the next video. Hey everyone, so here we are with the last plotting, that is known as the metric plots. They are a little different from the old we have learned before, because in with that we can use just directly the data sets and plot them, and I have classified them according to point and distribution and figure plots. Now we will move to this one. Here we have two data sets, that is first the tips, the one we are using in most of the cases. You will get this one. Here we have 7 columns in which we have 3 numerical columns and 4 string type columns. Then we have this one, flights, and if you print the head of that one, you will get a simple data set in which we have only 3 columns, 2 denoting numerical values, 1 denoting strings. So this one is a little easier to use here. You can also use another data set, but I'm going to use this one. So first of all, if you go to the gallery, you will find here we have 2 types of metric plot. That is, first one the heat map, this one. Second one is the cluster map. Any plot which is showing values like these, here you will notice corresponding values to every particular row and column. These are denoting metric plots. And one more thing, they are not known as the plots, they are known as the maps. This thing here, anything that we are going to work with, that one require maps instead of plot. Their parameters like color, etc. are also different that we are going to discuss here. Here if you notice, we have a bar here which is showing the amplitude with color, like lighter the color, higher the value. 606 is the maximum and lighter the value. Darker the value, lower the amplitude. So let's first move to this one. One more thing, now we cannot just directly plot that one. Like if I write command sns.heatmap and then I provide just like tips, this will show me error. And if you focus on the error here, you will find type error. This is something a little different, maybe you will not get while plotting. In plotting you will just get syntax errors when you write something unnecessary, like this thing here, syntax error. You will get value error, but not the type error. Type error is something when we have used different kinds of data from the one that is required there. And here these data sets are required to be changed in metric data set. After that we can use these with the heat maps. And based on the conversion, we have 2 methods. That is, first one CORR, second one is known as the pivot method, both of which we are going to discuss here. First one is the CORR, simple one but not used. This one is something like if I have tips and I make this one tip 2, so that it will be different from that one. You just need to write the original one, that is tips.corr parentheses. Now this tip is converted into metric type. If you print that one, you will find a matrix. There is some drawbacks in this metric, like you did not have all the values. Like here I have 3 of the numerical columns. They are only present here but did not contain all the values. Like here we have only 9 values. They are values like something corresponding total bill 1, tip 1, size 1, because the variation with themselves is always same. Then we have the tip with total bill, and here we have tip with total bill, opposite one, but the values are same there. So that's why it's not used, because it lacks the values. If you do the same with the flight, like I have flight 2 and this will be flights.corr parentheses, you will get flight 2 like this one, only 4 values. But now you can use these values to plot, like just use here sns.heatmap. Now you do not require to add plot here, because here the map is doing the same thing, it's mapping the values. Now just provide tips, you will get an error there, sns.heatmap. Sorry, that one I have again done with the tips, the original value. The converted value is tip 2. Sorry for that one. There we go. Here we have the heat map. It's showing all the 9 values available in that one. If you do same thing with the flight 2, just sns.heatmap, then the parentheses, and there we go with that one. Shift return and you will get this one. So main thing, it lacks the values, that's why we don't use this one. But let me show you some of the modification you can do, and this modification will be same with the method 2 also, because the parameters are same. So teaching you that one on a little graph is more easier. And if you notice, these both two look pretty similar, but it has more values, it doesn't have. And one more thing, if you notice there, this one is with the flights, the same data set I'm using, but it has only 4 values and it has approximately 144 values, that is 12 cross 12. so how the values are there. So that is something we can do with the second method. But before that, here, like if you want to have the values denoting to particular of these boxes, like these values 112, 115, so you can just do annote a parameter here and make this one true. Shift return, you will get the values. Same with this one, you will have the values. If you can notice, diagonals are 1 1 and the corresponding values are different. These are two same, these two same, these two same. After that, if you need some separation in between these boxes, like you did not require attachment, then you can just write line widths. Make sure you are also using S there and make this one 10. You will get the error, attribute error. Let me check out that one. Sorry, I have made a spelling mistake here. That is WIDHT. This one is TH. So sorry for that one. I got a little mistake while typing. So there we have the separation in between them. You can also reduce or make larger this separation. And if you notice, the box size are decreasing while you are increasing these. Like if I have this one 300, then we did not have the boxes. And if this one is like 100, again we did not have. Let me have some value like 50. So if you notice, the box are decreasing, the widths are increasing. That's the thing here, that the size of graph is not increasing, only the values are decreasing. So make sure you are using a value that will not affect the these values. And instead of writing this long thing, you can just write LW there, denoting line widths. You can also make these line widths colorful just by line color and provide this one like any value red. This one is red now. If you write here blue, this one is blue now. If you write black, this one is black now. So you can modify this graph in any way. After that, if you want to change the color of these values, so here you cannot just use color like this one and cool there. If you press shift return, you will get error. Also, if you use the palette method, you will get the error, because these are not plots, these are maps. So here we use C map, denoting color map. Shift return and you will get the change. You can provide any change you want to, like cool warm here, this one. So this is about the modification you can do in any graph. Now let me move to the second method. So remove all these value so that we can have a look at the head there. So there we go, just this one more. Now this method is known as the pivot method. This is also simple. You just need to have this flight to, and we are going to work with flight to here now. You can also do with the tips, but I'm going to prefer this one because it has only 2 columns. There you have to specify the columns. So go for the simple one, and you can also try that one. Otherwise here it will take more time. So you just need to write first the flights, then we have the pivot underscore. Here we have different options here. We are going to use a table option there. You can check out other by googling that one. Then we need to provide an index. That's what I'm telling you here, that you have to provide the columns, but here we have only 2, so we are not required to focus on that which one to choose. So here just provide index, that is the rows which are month. Then we have the columns year, and the values will be passenger. So here we have the month, then we have the columns, that is COLUMNS, and this one is going to be year. Then we have the values. These are like the passengers. One thing again I need to tell you, make sure you are writing these in quotes. So shift return. Now here we have the data in the metric form, and if you print that one like flight to, you will get the data in metric form. Here we have the year months. These are years, months, and the values. You can also do the same thing with the tips. You just need to have there like if I have tips to this one, then we have tips and then dot pivot. Let me copy this one, Command C and Command V there. Just change this one like you need to do with the total bill, and this one like tip. There we have this one, and then this one day, and the values must be a little different. Let me have the row day, this one day, and this one total bill. Shift return that one, and if you run the tips too, sorry, not at the rate, there we have this one. Here, this is the reason I have not used the tips, because in most of the values there you will get none, and the reason for that one is it may be possible that with the values of tips or any total bill or any size, you did not have any particular day value or something like that one. So prefer this one, tips, and if you want to use the flights, and if you want to use tips, you can also go with that one. Now here we have flights to this data, and you can just do now SNS dot heat map, and then this data flights to and flight 2. There we go. Here we have the same map as this one. If you notice here, you can have the same parameters there, like LW is equal to 1, and let me have the color is equal to cool. There we go. Here we have this one. So you can modify the heat map in the way you want to. So this is about the heat maps, how you can change the data. So make sure you have converted the data, otherwise you will get error. And make sure you are using proper kind of data so that you will not get any empty values. If you use this one with tips 2, like here we have tips 2, is that tips 2? Yes, that is. And shift return that one, you will get something like that one because of missing values. So make sure you are using the proper data. And I'm again focusing on the tips because I need to show you that what happens when you use improper kind of data. Now here we have the heat map. After that, now we are done with this one. Move to second one, that is cluster map. So these are the cluster maps and very easy to use. You just need to first convert the data, like here we have the data converted, and then use data with SNS dot just cluster map here instead of heat map, and provide the data like flight 2, and then we have shift return. We get this one. This one is a little dark. Let me change the color. That is C map there, and this one cool. So here we have this one. Now a little view of that how it's working. Like if you notice on the basic node, this thing, if you notice this line, it's divided into two segments, that is these 6 and these 6, and these are difference in both two, like these are light and these are darker. Then we have this line, it's again divided into two parts, this one and this one. It can be divided in like something, this one instead of this one we have this light one, so that the 4 lines will be lighter and one is darker. But in that case the separation is like here we have 2, here we have 4. The separation will always be in pair of 2, and maybe in different one, but all will be in same. So that's why this light blue is here, this light blue is here, and separated by a dark one. Here we have this one dark, and this one a little darker, and this one is a little light, but they all are darker than this one. So I hope you got the idea that what I want to say here, that these lines are dividing the values according to their amplitude or any variation. Like here we are using the values, so they are using the amplitude to divide the lines. And if you notice here we have 1949, there we have 1949, then followed by 50, 51, 52, but here we have 50, then 53, 54, 51, 52, 59, 60, 57, something randomly. That's because if you notice on the graph, we have darker values here in the last, that are 1960 here, but we have the darker at this point. That's because if this one is here, then the separation is not visible properly. So that's why we have these roots. They are just used to separate the values in different forms, and this one is also less used because it's a little less efficient because of this thing. Columns are separated randomly. Here we have also the bar showing the values amplitude according to their colors. So this is all about the metric plots. I hope you got the idea, and they are very easy to use. Just you need to convert the data in the metric type and then just go with the flow. Write heat map or cluster map and provide the parameters. So thanks for watching. We are done with this, and I will see you in the next video. Hey everyone, so now we are done with the plots. A little concept that is known as styling is left here, and in styling, to notice any styling, you need to add one more line here, that is matplotlib space inline, and then shift return, so that you will see the changes in the cells here. After that, if I have any plot like sns dot count plot, there we go, with the x equal to smoker, unknown numerical column, and then we have data our tips. There we go. So here, if you want to style this plot here in different ways, you can use style methods. First of all, in style method we have sns.set_context. That is to change the layout. Like if I need this one in form of paper form, then we have paper here, and this is showing the same result. Let me again run these commands. So this is a drawback in styles. Maybe you will also get this one. When you try these first, you will get no output, and then again try, you will get output. There we go. So if you have noticed, I have done nothing. Just run this again after having any particular value, then it shows me output. So if you are not getting output, then try to run that one again, you will get the output. So here we have this one in paper form. Now you can change this one into poster form also, that is this one, and in notebook form also. So there we have notebook, and there we go. This is looking like paper one. Here we have this one again like the normal one. So I think you got the idea that what I need to tell you here. Don't focus on the outputs that what you are getting and what I am getting, because I am doing the same thing and getting different outputs here. After that, we have another one, that is the sns.respine. This one is something to remove these borders. If you make this one and run, you did not have these borders. And if you do here something like any particular border like left and make left true, then you will have only the left border. Sorry, the bottom border, because this left one, yeah, now you have also cleared that one. And if you do bottom is equal to true, then you will not have any border. And when you make any of the border false, like this one on the top, this one here we have false, you will have the top border. So that's how you can vary these borders. One more styling thing left, that is known as simple set style, by which you can set the style of this plot, like changing the grids there in the background. That's something like, first if I have white, we have the basic one. If you change this one into dark grids, just grid, there we have no output. Now we have output when I run it again. So these are known as the grids. You can also convert these grids into white grids. That is, let me again run this one. There we go. with these white grids. There's one more option here that is known as ticks, and let me again run that one. There we go with that one. So this is like the simple one. So this is about the styling. I am not going much deeper into this one because this is something showing you unexpected result and you need to run these again and again. This is so that you will get a little idea of that what the things are. So you are not going to require these things. So if you are getting different outputs, don't worry about that one. So thanks for watching. Now we are done with this Seaborn and move to the next module.